Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Another Saskatchewan video. Now everybody knows that if you have a close relative in Saskatchewan, you get 20 points. And those 20 points are, well, they don't break your situation, but they definitely make your situation, because all you need is 70 odd numbers for Saskatchewan. So if you get 20 points from your close relative, then you're good to go. So people are always getting through if they have a close relative in Saskatchewan. So let's talk about that. What documents are needed, what kind of relatives are needed. Okay, so the first one is obviously the close relative would mean for other provinces, your parent, your grandson, your son, these are your blood relatives, right? And also, yeah, your brother, your sister, okay? But for Saskatchewan, you get an extra advantage. You can have an aunt or an uncle, okay, a niece or a nephew, a first cousin, okay, and grandparent is something I talked about, a step family member, and then all of these connections, all of these relations from your in-laws as well. Okay, so for example, if your wife has a niece or a nephew living in Saskatchewan, you can claim those close relative points as well. Okay, so these are the type of relatives. Now let's talk about the documentation, because obviously it is going to be crucial. Okay, so let's start with the easy things. You need a birth certificate or a marriage certificate or any official document that proves your relationship with that person. Okay. Then, and by the way, a subscriber was asking me, fiance cannot be a close relative unless it is a common law partner. Okay. And then the second document would be that you need to provide a copy of either the PR card or the citizenship card or the Canadian passport. Okay. So you can provide these things. And if you have all three, then provide all three. So then the proof needs to be provided that they have been living in Saskatchewan for the past 12 months. Okay, at the time of your application. Okay, starting 10 months before your ITA. Okay, just to explain, just to give a context. So you need to provide utility bills from the past 12 months. Okay, and those utility power bills would be from Sask Power, Sask Energy, or any city or town office. Okay, but phone calls, phone bills, cell phone bills, cable bills, they will not be accepted for the proof of relationship. Okay, then a Saskatchewan health card or a Saskatchewan driver's license is needed. Okay, now, these are the two things. Then you need to provide a proof that your family member is a tenant of a Saskatchewan address. Okay, so it could be a lease agreement, any rental receipt, or any proof of ownership. Okay, so you need to provide either of these to prove your residence in Saskatchewan. Okay, so you need to include the name of the occupants at that address and what is the relationship between that family member and those occupants. Okay, this is something that you need to figure out as well. And then your relatives' proof of income for the past 3 months. Okay. Now keep in mind, a close family member, their complete household can only sponsor or rather support one person, one applicant. Okay, they cannot sponsor multiple applicants. Okay, so this is a restriction, just like Manitoba. In Manitoba as well, one household cannot sponsor many applicants. They can only sponsor one applicant. So this problem is same with Saskatchewan as well. Well, we should not call it a problem. Okay, so if the close relative, your close relative, has children between the age of 5 and 17, then where are they studying in Saskatchewan? They might ask for your educational proof as well. Now let's talk about if the household was supporting a nominee just like you, and that nominee has now settled in Saskatchewan. So now that close family member can invite you as well. Okay, now there should be a gap for that. So for that, you need extra documentation. If that household has already helped somebody get nomination, then you would need extra documentation. What is that? The first one is obviously the proof of PR status or Canadian citizenship for that supported nominee. And then the proof that they have been living in Saskatchewan for the past 6 months. Very crucial, because usually people move out of the provinces. So if their supported nominee has moved out of the province and has not been living there for 6 months, then obviously the application will be in jeopardy. So this is something very important. Okay, now you also need to provide proof of employment for that supported nominee for the past 6 months, and it should include pay stubs, a letter from their employer confirming employment. So, and that needs to be on the official company letterhead. Okay, so these are the requirements if your close relative has already sponsored somebody or supported their nomination. Okay, so this was all about close relatives. Having a close relative is a great thing, and it gives you extra burden of documentation as well, but you get a great chance at getting successful in Saskatchewan. So with these words, this is Ali Iftikhar, and I'm hoping great things are coming your way.